This is Yonge and Bloor. We're just going to take a nice little tour of Yonge Street. Walking south, walk north. Better off going to paint drying demonstration because it'll be less boring. So on Yonge Street you can actually take 2, which is the other subway line. There's little snack places here. Jamaican patties are usually the thing at these snacks, the hot food stuff anyway. The other time you get a roti as well, Indian roti, but yeah, they're tasty, they're lovely. We'll take the escalator because my hip's bad. There's the train. I was going to start this video on the train, but it was absolutely jam-packed to the point where I could barely lift my arms, so that wasn't going to happen. We are going to try and figure out which exit to take, which is everyone who takes TTC's biggest problem is how to get out where you actually want to get out of. So we have left the subway station. We're in the path. You've heard of this. This is an underground walking system. So you can stay cool in the summer and stay warm in the winter. So yeah, that's the one line, or the yellow line. And that's the main subway line in Toronto. That will kind of get you most places you really want to go. Goes down to U from North Finch all the way around down to Union Station, main subway station in Toronto, kind of giving Grand Central vibes, and then goes the whole way up to Vaughan. Right over at Vaughan, down around, all the way back up to Finch. Huge subway line. There's supposed to be new subway lines here, but if you talk to anyone in Toronto about that, they'll tell you how much of a fucking mess that is. Now, this is Yonge and Bloor here. 2 big buildings here. This is 1 York. This was finished a number of years ago. We're approaching maybe 7 years ago at the moment, 6 years ago. And right next to it is 1 Bloor, which is the tallest residential building in Canada, or going to be anyway. It's nearly finished. I think it's going to be 86 stories, just over 1,000 feet high. We're going to walk over there and then head down Yonge Street. I'll show you exactly what it's like. It's so pretty, so much construction, so pretty. So this is another subway exit. This is the one I was trying to get out of, but I went the opposite way, so it all goes underground. This is Cafe Landwehr. Great spot for lunch or brunch or breakfast. And this is 1 Bloor. Very tall building there. Coming in the corner of Yonge and Bloor. Got a very nice Lululemon there, which is kind of a newer one. And all the way down Bloor Street here, a lot of high-end shops. Talk about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Armani, all that sort of stuff, all the way down there. And behind us, I should say. The One, that's actually what it's called. 1,000 feet, massive. And now we're walking south down Bloor. These bikes are great. These are electric bikes. You can rent them, super fast, also pretty cheap. They're 20 cents per minute, and they cost $1 to unlock. So very, very good. Or you can get a day pass for 15 bucks. Canada's first ever Chick-fil-A, or not Canada, sorry, Toronto, Calgary Airport, Canada's first ever Chick-fil-A. When this opened, there was a lineup literally around the corner, and some of the controversy around it is they don't have very strong gay politics. In fact, their owner had given money against, kind of go against gay rights and stuff like that. And this Chick-fil-A is located very close to the gay village. It's about a 10-minute walk away. So a bit of controversy there around that, but this is Yonge Street. This is South Yonge Street. Changing quite dramatically at the moment, I would say. There is some strip clubs here. There's a lot of food places. In particular, there's a lot of Asian food places. So you'll have lots of Indian places, lots of Korean places, Japanese, Chinese, all types of food. A lot of hot pot here. It's Chinese cuisine right there, Pearl. This is as downtown as it pretty much gets. This is inner downtown, just like any city. It's mixed. Some homeless people here, some cheap places here. There's McDonald's behind me, although it's probably a bit of a dodgy McDonald's, but I don't mind it. So as I said, complete mix of stores here. Lots of Asian places. You got Tim Hortons here, Popeye supplements. Got a Mervish Theatre here, which will do live plays and musicals, which is always good for a show. This building has been derelict for quite a while. I'm not sure what their plans are, to be honest. They haven't posted any plans. It's been like this for ages. You can see taping up and it's all boarded up. It's not great. This place can be great for international snacks. You got dairy milks, Irish snacks, you got 7-Ups, Barry's tea, Lion bars, which are lovely. Very, very nice. Lots of karaoke bars here too. This is the place to go for some good karaoke's, Yonge Street. So a few karaoke bars in the second and third floor of these buildings up here and down here, and there's more karaoke bars down there, which we'll get to in a sec. But I want to point out these tall buildings here. You're seeing quite a few tall buildings around me, right? So why is there so much tall buildings? And I'll explain to you right after this. Miss Fu Chengdu. Chengdu is an area of, that guy nearly fucking knocked me down. Chengdu is the capital of Sichuan province in China. Good cheap gym there, only about $10 a month, sorry. Anyway, Chengdu, capital of Sichuan province in China. They specialize in something called hot pot. This place does hot pot, which is basically a hot oil and a neutral oil. But the oil itself, it's like the temperature is hot. One is spicy, one is not spicy. And they give you your food, and it's like vegetables and meat and potatoes and stuff. And they're raw, and you cook them in the oil to your own preference. And it'd be very, very tasty, but extremely spicy, so you gotta be careful. So the reason why there's a lot of these tall buildings is they passed a recent bylaw in the city that will allow a change of zoning. So anywhere within 100 meters east or west of Yonge Street, you're basically allowed to build as tall of a tower as you want. It's a big one right there. And it's to create higher density around the area. So it's because the subway line kind of runs almost the whole way along Yonge and along University there. It's very easily accessible. You don't need cars. The infrastructure is already built for a lot of people, for the most part. So you can build like basically as tall buildings as you can. So developers took advantage of that, bought up a bunch of properties around places, put in their applications. They got fast tracked because the zoning had changed, and now they can build these really high density buildings, these really, really tall buildings, which is, changed the complexion of Yonge Street. And it's probably why now there is tons of like food places, predominantly fast food places. There's a lot of bubble tea places here. There's vape places, there's dessert places, kind of a bit of a mix of everything. But all those things that are quick, kind of more the millennial type of things, and that's the type of people you have moving in here. Again, this is the edge of Wellesley Station. It comes on Dundonald, and that's at the bottom of that tall building right there. Quite good. And they have the old classic Yonge Street buildings like these that actually are still retaining a bit of character. How long they'll still be here is anyone's guess. We don't know if they're going to be heritage or not. Pho Am Vu, really good Vietnamese food right in there, actually. Very tasty. I like Pho Am Vu. Went to the one in North York recently. It's delicious. So shout out Sheila and Ty for recommendation. Appreciate it. Fun fact about Yonge Street, it is, I think, the longest street in North America, or something insane like that. Now this is pretty much the downtown core part. We started on Bloor, and we're walking down. We're gonna go try and down the whole way to King Street. We won't film this the whole time, I'll skip forward in parts, but I just want to kind of give you the idea of what it's like. More tall residential buildings, relatively newer. This building here, 360 Yonge St, right at the edge. This is that one there. It's got the curved top. That used to be the tallest residential building in Toronto. It may still is at the moment, but as you can see behind us, the one Yonge is still standing taller. The back, although it's not even finished yet, but I think it is actually technically taller. So we're starting to get a lot more of these commercial businesses filled all along here. These are this is a new building. Took them a while to get these commercial units filled. Again, the street is changing so rapidly that it's probably an issue with like the marketing department trying to figure out what exactly they should put in here. So yeah. Restoration, or like I should say not restoration but heritage, is there's an old building here, see with the clock, and then they built this giant tower kind of inside it. They had to keep the facade of this whole thing by rules, by heritage rules. So you can't get rid of that, you got to keep it, but you can create a higher density if you do keep it and build a building. So they kept this here. However, I do think they mainly lost the whole character and concept of the heritage of the outside. I'm not really like too fond of the idea. Also, like the style of the building isn't at all in the style of the facade or the outside heritage of it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of feels like cheating a little bit. But anyway, I digress. Now we will skip forward here real quick. I'll go to college, I'll jump on the subway, and I'll talk to you in literally 2 seconds. Right, we're on College right now. I know I said I talked in the subway, but I want to talk to you about College Park. Now I heard recently about this building right here, College and Yonge, big intersection. Heard this building was initially supposed to be similar to the Empire State Building, just as big, and they just kind of like quit going through some of it. They just kind of like fucking stopped. But the style of it is very, very nice. I'm quite a big fan. Anyway, now we're on College, which turns into Carlton right here. So we're kind of going east, but I'm just going to go down the subway. And we will chat in 2 seconds now.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Yeah, you guessed it. Now trying to figure out where to go again. Well, I actually kind of know this, unfortunately. Been to King Street a few times recently. It should be a frustrating place sometimes to get off. Long story, has to do with suits. Now, right, quite different vibes here. Pretty much in the financial district-ish, I would say. Right, the 1 King West residence and hotels right here. Right across the street, you see this building. It's a great Irish bar called the Irish Embassy. It's a pub and grill. Closed during COVID. They can never really get back together to get it back open again. But it is wonderful. I just really, really like it. Great place for networking, great place for meeting Irish people, people that you might know. But also this really great big space, and it was just really, really nice. Don't love seeing franchises back in there. It's a franchise behind me. Starbucks, but c'est la vie pretty much. And now we're walking back north up Yonge Street. So if I lean out here, you'll see the very, very top of the one. Right at the very, very tippy top. You may recognize this street. This is Adelaide and Yonge. They shot the famous show Suits right here. And like there, the next building over, and around the corner there on the other side. Suits. So if you see Harvey Specter, you bump into him, ask him if he's looking to buy or sell some real estate, and pass on my details. Cheers. You will likely find more tourists around here because Dundas Square is just up here to the top, and you do have kind of different types of restaurants, and nice restaurants and fancy restaurants. I said I'm in the financial district, and so the financial district here, you know, we call it like Wall Street in New York. I don't know if they named that word, but here they call it Bay Street Bros. So lots of guys in suits and things like that. Actually, there's a guy coming up right here. I'm just going to show you what a Bay Street Bro looks like, and his two compatriots. So perfect timing. You do see a lot of Bay Street Bros, a lot of like Italian cafe and wine places here, which is quite lovely, and like little streets like that. So this is the other street they shot Suits down. It's kind of Sub Forno is good. I will give it that. This is more on the fancy side of things, which is kind of, I guess, where we're supposed to go. And I'm going to take you for a nice coffee here. This is Dineen Coffee. This is a nice spot for a cup of coffee, and so we'll hang out here and see what we got. How's it going? Can you do a flat white? Yeah, could I get a flat white to go, please? And would you pick the chocolate chunk banana loaf or the peach coffee cake?
I think the loaf is better.
The loaf is better? Yeah, it looks better. Oh, I'll do that stuff.
Chocolate chunk banana, right?
Yeah, please.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Perfect.
Your name?
Conor.
Conor?
Yeah. Even make a flat white, you don't know how to taste it, and then you really know whether it's going to be good or not. So I've ordered one. This would be the place to get it, I suppose. Their espresso machines look like they cost about the same as a down payment on a house, so. Reaction. And I spell my name. Also, it doesn't look like a flat white. But that's okay. We do live in Canada, not Australia or Ireland. I didn't know how to make coffee. So, you need a little bit of this and it'll leave you go. Just realizing the look of it is all kind of weird, but it doesn't come out strange. Beautiful architecture. This is the bay, which is now closed, unfortunately. Hudson's Bay of Canada, around since the 1800s, is closed. For good, unfortunately. But you look at the difference between this architecture and that architecture, and there's no comparison. We're going to walk back up to Queen Street here, and we're going to take the subway back home. Sorry, I said Hudson's Bay been around since the 1800s, around since 1670. Good Lord. Here's a better example here of how to maintain heritage. You see the bottom story of that building. And then the top one, I prefer the bottom one. They kept it exactly the same. It's an old Bank of Montreal. Maybe a better way of doing it, but still not perfect. And this is the Eaton Centre and Dundas Square is up there. I'll show you all that in another video. There's only so much time. Guys gotta work. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with the coffee. It's just not flat white. It actually tastes pretty good, but so now we're back on Queen Street. Technically, we're going to take the Queen Street exit back up. I'm gonna go home. You're gonna subscribe to my channel right here, and I'll show you lots more tours of lots more tours of Toronto and everything else in between. If you're looking to buy or sell in here or move here, shoot me a follow and subscribe. You can drop me a comment, and I'll be sure to reply back to you. Cheers. See you on the other side.